Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today is day 23 of 100 machine learning projects. And today we will be diving into something like very interesting, that is predictive maintenance. Making a predictive model for maintenance for machinery using the sensor data. So we will break down what it means, how AI makes it possible, and explain the random forest algorithm that we are using to make this prediction model work, and walk through real Python code to build a model. So whether you're a data science newbie or a pro, stick around. This is gonna be fun, and like that hit like that button. Sorry, hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get started. So, what is predictive maintenance? So, first, let's talk about predictive maintenance. So, imagine you are running a factory with machines like pumps or engines or heavy machineries. These machineries have sensors like measuring things like temperature, vibrations, or speed. And these kind of the machineries you can find in big plants, like in multiple kind of manufacturing units as well. So what happens, like over time machines wear out and breakdowns can be costly. Like you understand, like you don't if you don't do the maintenance on the time, then there might be the whole machine breaks down, and you have to just replace it without replace a new one, which is a very costly machine. So think like downtown repairs and or lost production. So predictive maintenance uses sensor data to predict when a machine might fail, or so you can fix it before it breaks. You can understand, like, okay, it's going to fail or it's not going to work, or if there is any problem like with your machine. It's like your car telling you, hey, my brakes are wearing out, replace the new next week. Even you can see that in like lot of cars, if for the tires also, if you have driven the car like for something, I think 10 to 15,000 miles, then you have to get those tires turned into, so then they don't wear out. So these are like a good like ideas of how you can make the predictive model on the base of the sensor data. But you have to understand, like, how do we make these predictions work, like how these predictions can be used and made on the basis of the sensor data. And that's where basically the algorithms, the AI works, and AI comes in. So AI or artificial intelligence can it can help us analyze tons of sensor data to spot patterns that signal a failure, or a future failure, or maybe that the machine is wearing out. Like for example, if a machine's vibration spikes or temperature gets too high, so AI can learn that these are like the red flags of that particular machine, and we use machine learning to build models that predict failures. These models take sensor readings like temperature, torque, or speed, and output a prediction like this machine will fail soon, or like it's all good. So today we will use a data set with sensor readings from which is available on Kaggle. And the data set has measurements, like temperature, I think temperature, process temperature, rotational speed, torque, and tool wear, plus our label telling us if the machine has failed. Our job is to basically train an AI model to predict that label, to understand that if the machine has failed with those features or with those categories. The algorithm we will use is random forest. So just let's dive into, like, to just to recall like how random forests work. So random forest is a very powerful and machine learning algorithm. It's very interpretive and it's very good to use in multiple scenarios. It provides us good examples, and which is basically perfect for tasks like predictive maintenance. So think of it like as a team of decision makers. Like each decision maker is a decision tree and a flowchart that asks questions like, is the vibration above 50, is the temperature too high, like is the torque like good enough, and decides like if it is going to fail or not fail. So based on the labels that we have, based on the answers that we have. So it will like understand, like but like here's the you have to understand this is like a decision tree where every decision is done. But random forest doesn't rely on just one decision tree. It builds a forest of hundred of trees, each trained on a random chunk of the data and features, and then it combines their predictions like a group of vote, or you can say that it takes an average to make a final call. So that makes it robust, accurate, and great at handling complex data like sensor readings. Even for multiple where there is multiple features with different categories, you can use random forest there as well. So random forest also tells us which features like tool wear or torque are more important for prediction, like because there might be multiple features and you have to understand like which of the features are more important or contribute more towards the prediction. So plus it handles in balance data well, which is like key since machine failures are rare. So maybe only 3 to 4% of our data. So now let's see if the action with real code. So let me just share my screen and we can okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So these are the libraries that we are using, that you guys already know. We have used these libraries in multiple like previous videos as well. So these are the basic libraries. These are the the sensor.csv. Maybe I can also add the the link of like from where I downloaded this dataset from Kaggle. So I use this sensor.csv file. I put it in the head of that is the five things, that how many the data set size is there, the information about it is there, like. And then we will do some feature engineering, like this is basically the feature engineering where we are dropping the unnecessary columns. So you have to understand the UDI is not going to help anything with the production. Like name of the machine is not going to help in the prediction. The ID of the machine is not going to help in the prediction. So IUDI, product ID, TWF, HDF, these like we are dropping these columns, and we are filling the the values where like null values where we don't have any values, any information on a particular feature. We are filling it with mean. And then we are also calculating, we are doing some feature engineering. We are calculating the temperature difference, like process temperature and the air temperature, like what is the difference, because we will know that if the difference is low, high, and how it is actually measuring. Because there might be a chance that the okay for example, the process temperature has to be, if we are baking a particular bread, so the process of the temperature is supposed to like 120 degrees. So the air will also have the 120 degrees. That actually makes sense. But if the process temperature is like 50 degrees and air temperature is 110 degrees, then you will know that there is a difference. So why there is a difference, then you can go into the details, like what is happening. There might be some fault or some issues because of which your machine can wear down. So basically you are going to do that. So there is power, torque, rotational speed, as as power, and angular. So we are just calculating some of the data frames for that, and putting everything in in those information, and we are doing the drop the NA part. And if we talk about the design like features and targets, so we are just these are the features that we are talking about. So the data set, these are the variables, this is the target variable that we have. And on the base of this, we are splitting the data on the basis of zero point 0.3, that is like 70% testing and 30% 70% training and 30% testing, with random state of for 42, and satisfies equals to y. We are pre-processing the pipeline, that is why we are doing the pre-processing of the pipeline. We need to pre-process our data, like the type column like L, M, or H is categorical. So we do one hot encode, like we does one hot encode, we apply one hot encoding on it. so that numerical features like temperature and torque got scaled, and to have like zero mean and unit variance that we have already talked about in multiple videos, that why we use that. And we use a column transformer to handle both in one go, and this ensures that the random forest gets clean and standardized data, because you have to understand that every model has a format in which it understands the data easily. So this is one of the reasons. Then this is the processor, we are using the smart also to balance the data on this. And this is like X train balanced, Y train balanced, and we are calling the random forest on this particular thing. So n estimate is 100, random state is 42, class weight, like we are using the balanced one. So this is how it is going to do, and the processor is there. The classification, okay, so now we are doing the classification report. You can see we are doing the precision, the recall, the F1 score, the support with the ROC accuracy curve of like 98%. Yeah. And the confusion matrix is also there, because you have to understand like how these features matter. So the F1 score, like since failures are criticals, we want like high recall, catching as many failures as possible. We also compute the ROC accuracy curve to measure overall performance, which is like 98%, and plot a confusion matrix to visualize, true versus predicted failures, which are actually like I think is a very good technique to understand like how these things are being calculated. This is a feature importance, like why we did that. So random forest tells us like which features matter most. So we plot the feature importance to see if tool wear, torque, or engineered information is like more high. So you can see the rotational speed, RPM is given, power, tool wear, torque, like these things were given high importance as a response to torque mean. So this is the new data that we have come into. So these were the important feature importance. And once you are learning throughout learning these algorithms, you will understand like why this thing is important. So, for the example of prediction, we did, we provided this kind of information: what is the type, air temperature, and everything, and we called our model for that. That is predict, and you can see that it has predicted that the prediction for new data is zero. That it is not no failure. There is no failure for that. So this is the scenario, and this is a very simple and very basic model that you can learn about. Basic data set. As I tell you that learning machine going through a lot of theory for machine learning is not a good approach unless you are implementing it very nicely, or implementing it and playing with the data set. So these are, I'm giving you a basic data sets that you can play with, apply multiple algorithms on that. Maybe do some more feature engineering, add some of your ideas, tweak some algorithms to make its accuracy very good. So here you can see that with random forest we already had 98% accuracy, which is a very good accuracy. So you can just go through it and understand how it's going to be, or maybe you can create a whole web application and use this prediction as well, prediction model as well, to help the big plans to understand like which part of the machinery is going to wear off. So I think this is a very good project, and anyone can start their journey with this, and make a product out of it, and that is like good. That's the goal, right, at the end. So this is it for today, and I hope you like this video, and you please hit that like button, and please subscribe the channel, so that you are aware that when I'm putting my videos on different topics, I make sure that every day I'm bringing new topic for you guys, with the concept why we are doing this and how the algorithms work, with the basic analogies as well, so that you guys can understand and relate properly. So it's a learning for me as well as you. So make sure you subscribe the channel, and if there are anything, please do let me in comment that if you want me to work on a particular project, or if you want me to make a video on a particular concept, I will make sure that I will study the concept again, and make notes, and put a lot of effort to make a video, so that it's a good video for you guys to relate and understand that particular concept. So this is it for today, and thank you for being here, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.